Guess who's back? It's winter according to Humphrey. We are back at it, and we gotta finish this book because March is coming up, and then it's gonna be spring, and then this won't fit. So we gotta finish this book. This is chapter 9. More sour notes. Over the next few days, most of many things began to happen. First of all, large white sheets of cardboard turned into giant big snowflakes that girls could fasten onto their bodies by putting their arms through elastic loops. Smaller snowflakes went onto their wrists like bracelets. Second, large pieces of colorful yarn were woven into handsome tails for the boys. They also wore caps and paper ears on them. By Thursday, the girls learned to swirl around a snowflake. They said, "Snowflakes floating in the air makes a lovely sight of swaying. No two snowflakes are alike, almost, but not quite." They looked wonderful, especially Rolly Roseby. She spinning her wheelchair in perfect circles. Meanwhile, the boys learned how to prance when they sang, "Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh." But there was problems, too. One day things got wild, and tall palm pranced right into Be Careful Kelsey, and forgetful Phoebe also almost knocked out strong Paul when she swore out of control. Just Joey pranced over to my cage. "Look, Humphrey, I'm a horse," he said. Then he made weird noise that sounded a lot like a horse. He said, or something like that. I think it's called a whiny. I never actually seen a horse in real life, but I saw an amazing movie that Miss Sprague's house that had people riding around the backs of enormous horses. At least it seemed enormous to me. "Do it again, Joey," I squeaked. And guess what? He did. No! "Hurry up, Harry," slowed down Simon, heard it and rushed over. "That was amazing," Harry said. "How'd you do that?" Simon wanted to know. Joey did it again. Harry and Simon were trying to whine too, but they didn't sound like horses at all. "So no, class, back to your seats," Miss Lex said. "Now you guys will be decorating your snowflakes with paint first, and then glitter. Boys, you need to finish up your ears and tails. I will bring jingle bells for you to practice with as well." All my friends seemed so excited and pleased. I was too. "Daniel, why don't we try to see one of the songs with the jingle bells music?" Miss Lark said. "Now," Daniel replied. "Yes, now," Miss Lark replied. Daniel shoved his way to the front of the room where Miss Lark had her keyboard. "I'm not used to playing on that," he said. "I know," Miss Lark said, "but it's just like a piano. We'll have a real piano for the show." She placed the music near the keyboard, and Daniel took his place. "I'll count to 4, Miss Lark said. "On the count of 4, you start playing. And remember to follow my direction." Daniel nodded. 1, 2, 3, Miss Lark counted. 4. I was relieved when Daniel started to play. The boys started to sing, following Miss Lark's hands as she waved them. For long, I realized something was wrong. The boys said, "Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh." By the time they were sleighing, Daniel was still playing the note for snow. Not only that, it was the wrong note. It sounded terrible. My ears twitched and my whiskers wiggled. "Eek!" I squeaked. No one could hear me, of course, because there was so much noise. Miss Cluck kept waving her arms like, "Oh, stop. "Oh, that feels me go," the boy said, but Daniel played in a one-horse open sleigh. He hit a couple of more cluckers, too. I never heard how bad music could sound if someone hit the wrong notes. There was another song. The girls were giggling. I couldn't blame them. Daniel wasn't laughing, though. He turned red and then looked at pain on his face. "Stop!" Miss Lark said. Daniel froze and everyone stopped singing. "Sorry, Daniel, but you need to keep up with the boys," Miss Lark said. "It sounded like you were performing 2 different songs." "Wow, Miss Lark. Way to be rude." Again. "They were going too fast," Daniel complained. It's difficult to play when people... It's difficult. I know it's difficult to play when people are singing, but if you're not used to it," he said. "Have you practiced at home?" Daniel rubbed his nose. "Sorta," he mumbled. "I hope you will spend some time practicing this weekend," Miss Lark said. "We'll try again on Monday." Daniel shuffled back his way to his chair. He looked so miserable. The girls stopped giggling. Miss Lark left and Miss Brisbane took over the class, but Daniel didn't look any happier. When the class left for recess, I heard Simon say to Harry, "I heard piano players run his family. Run far away, I hope." Harry replied with a laugh, which is kind of funny, except that was true. These people are kind of rude. Later in the day, Miss Lark. Oh no, not Miss Lark. Get Miss Lark out of here. Bye, Miss Lark. Later in the day, Miss Spray let my friends work on their costumes. The girls seemed especially excited to make their snowflakes glitter. But before they started, suddenly Miss Wright walked into the room 26. Miss Wright is the PE teacher who always wears a shiny and loud whistle around her neck. She also likes to make sure everyone in Longfellow School follows the rules. Miss Richmond, I want to alert you that there's going to be no glitter at the Winter Wonderland program, she said. Some of the girls gasped. Oh no! Sophie said out loud. I hope my breath is Miss Lark. Why do I keep saying Miss Lark? Miss Wright put her hand on the whistle. Cordelia paused and hoped she wouldn't blow it, because hamsters have very sensitive ears. Oh, but we need it to make our snowflakes sparkle, my teacher said. We were just about to start. Miss Wright shook her head. I'm sorry, but our playing meeting, we decided there should be no glitter. It's too much extra work for all, though, and I don't want to find glitter in my gymnasium for the rest of the year. You do have a point, Miss Wright said. I certainly don't want to make Otto's job harder. Otto works hard, but Otto's a janitor. I know. I watch him every night. Of the week he sweeps, dusts, and mops our room. I don't want him to have any extra work either. But I hate to see all the girls look so unhappy. Thank you for your cooperation, Miss Lark said. I'm sure we'll have a perfectly nice glitter-free program. After that, why do I keep saying Miss Lark? Miss Wright laughed, and all the girls started talking. It's not fair! Be careful, Kelsey complained. We need glitter to make our snowflakes shiny, Rolly Rosie said. I'll sleep up the gym. I'll sleep up the gym, Helpful Holly said. I wish there's no one single piece of glitter left behind. Miss Minnie smiled. Miss Wright has a point. There are some other ways to make your snowflakes shiny. I'll think something. Now, back to learning. The girls didn't seem convinced, though. But soon Miss Wright was talking about something coming up called the Winter Solstice, which was the shortest day of the year. Since I'm usually wide awake at night, I thought an extra long night would be fun. On Friday, the girls' bagel was... Wait, did I skip a page? Just check it. Yeah. Okay, I did it. On Friday, the girls were a lot happier as they glued shiny shapes made of tinfoil on their snowflakes, and they were sparkly as could be. That afternoon, you and Dale said, Humphrey, it's your turn to take me home for the weekend. People like Fridays. I guess because they had a whole week ahead of them, too. I like Fridays, too, because I get home with a classmate and learn something new about humans. What I don't like about Fridays is I have to leave Og behind. He doesn't learn Route 26 because he doesn't have to be fed. And transporting his tank is more difficult than carrying my cage. While Daniel was waiting for his grandfather to pick him up, I told him I'll go see him soon. Have a good weekend, I said. Boing, boing, he answered. Sounded like if he was going to miss me. Miss Ray stood looking out the window on the gray side. You know what, she said. I wasn't sure if he was talking to you, but I squeaked anyway. What? I'm taking you home for the weekend, Og, she continued. It feels like snow, and I don't want you to get stuck here in case school is closed on Monday. I guess you remember the time Og and I got snowed in. It was scary to be alone in school and no one to feed or give us water. I was happy for Og. Now I could enjoy the weekend knowing he had fun too. And the rest of the classes got home. Dale's grandfather arrived. Grandpa, meet Humphrey, Dale said as the old man walked in. Miss Reed introduced herself to Mr. Popwell, which was his grandpa's real name. Grandpa Popwell wore a heavy plaid jacket and a funny hat with flaps came down over his ears. Maybe those flaps came from hearing too well. Because he said, nice to meet you, Miss Brisbane. Miss Brisbane helped Grandpa Popwell cover my kid in a blanket and carry it out. Bye, Og. Have a great weekend, I squeaked to my friend. I already knew he would, since he was going home, Miss Brisbane. Bye, he answered happily. It looks like we'll have the house to ourselves for a few days, though, Amanda said as we drove away from school. Your mother had a conference. I know, Dale said, and Dad's out of town. Just you and me, said Grandpa, the boys. Just you, me, and Humphrey, Dale reminded. He's a boy, too, but not Lulu. She's a girl. I heard Grandpa chuckle. I wasn't sure who Lulu was. Maybe Daniel had a sister. When we were at Daniel's house, the blanket came off my cage. Right away, I knew who Lulu was, because she started barking. That's right, Lulu was a dog, and she was barking at me. Humphrey doesn't really like dogs. She was a small dog with curly black fur, but even if she was small for a dog, she was a lot bigger than I am. When she barked, I could see some white, very sharp teeth. Settle down, Lulu, Grandpa Papa told her, but she didn't settle down. Lulu, be nice, Dale said. But Lulu wasn't nice. I'll put her in the den, Dale said, as she carried her out of sight. Thank goodness. My heart was still pounding, but once Lulu was gone, I looked around and saw that I was sitting on a table in the living room. And right across the room was a piano. I certainly heard Daniel was planning on practicing all weekend. Grandpa and Dale went to the kitchen for a snack, so I scratched around my bedding and found a small piece of broccoli I stored there. I like to save bits of food just in case some people forget to feed me, but that hasn't happened yet. When they came back to the living room, Grandpa said, "Do you have any homework to do, Daniel?" Daniel made a face. "It's Friday. I've been working all week. I'll do it later this weekend. Can we watch TV?" "Your mother said she didn't want us watching TV all weekend," he said. "Oh, and you need to practice piano for the show at school." "I'll practice," Daniel said. "I'm glad to hear that, because the way he sounded in rehearsal, he needs lots of practice." "Later," Daniel said. He said later a lot. "Still okay if I wait a while?" Daniel asked. "Sure," his grandfather answered, "and I'll finish that crossword puzzle I started this morning." I crossed my paws and hoped that when Daniel practiced later, it wouldn't be too late. Humphrey's winter wonderings. If you say later every time you do something, do you actually get a thing done? Okay. We'll read one more. Chapter 10. Practice makes perfect. When we got to his room, Daniel set my cage on the dresser and pulled out a book from his backpack. Then he flopped down on his bed to read. He was quiet for a long time, so there wasn't much else to do, so I hopped on my wheel for a spin. That always kept my whiskers wiggly and my tail waggly. I tried to concentrate so hard on wiggling and waggling that I almost fell off my wheel when Daniel suddenly said, "Yes!" I thought he was trying to encourage me, so I spun a little faster. Daniel said, "Way to go!" "Thanks," I squeaked. I thought, though I had to admit, I was out of breath. "Whoa," he said. That surprised me so much that I stopped spinning completely. When I looked down, that Daniel wasn't looking at me. He was still reading his book. "Humphrey, this book is the best," he said. Then he finally looked over at me. "You should read it," he said. "I'd like to," I squeaked. "I meant it too. I would love to read more. Does anybody write hamster-sized books?" Daniel sat up and leaned closer to my cage. "See, this boy had a magic backpack, and anything he needs comes from out of whatever he needs help. So there's this part where another boy is bullying him, and he reaches into a backpack and pulls out a cream pie. So he throws it in the pie in the bad guy's face, and when the bully tells the teacher, the pie and the mess magically disappear. I sure wish I had a backpack like that. I guess anyone would like that. And you can take it to you places, and when you place you want to go, and whoosh, you're there," he said. Think of my brain spinning. I imagined being in my cage and putting on a magic backpack, and whoosh, I'd be on top of Mount Everest, even though it would be a little colder for a hamster. Or I'd be surfing the Pacific Ocean, although it would be a little wet for a hamster. I could be on the street of a big bustling city, although it would be a little dangerous for a hamster. Maybe Magic Backpack wasn't such a great idea after all, at least for a small creature like me. But when the cream pie sounded yummy, 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 I glanced over at Daniel and could see that his mind was miles away. "Boy, if I had a Magic Backpack, when it was time to practice piano, I would put it on and fly to an amusement park," he said. "Don't you like playing piano?" I asked. I'm wishing that he could understand. "I like the piano," Daniel said, "but every time I practice, I make so many mistakes. It sounds awful. That's why I don't like to practice." "Oh, Daniel." I saw his point. I also thought if you don't practice something, you'll never, ever get better at it. That is true. Because, if you just give up, you're never going to get better at it. And then you just don't get better at it. And then you don't have that skill, and then you can't impress people with a skill. There's no use in trying to explain to Daniel, though. I knew that all he would hear was squeaks. Daniel stared at the cover of the book. "This is DD. This DB is a genius," he said. "Imagine writing a book like this." Then he opened the book again and leaned back on his pillow. I have to find out what happened next. Reading is great, but it's not so interesting to watch someone read. So I hopped back on my wheel and did some more spinning. I went faster and faster and faster until I suddenly screeched to a stop. My brain was still spinning, though, because I had an idea. What if there was a story about a hamster who had a magic wheel? He could spin it and the wheel go anywhere he wanted. Now that would be a story I'd like to read in a book. I got so caught up thinking about that idea, I didn't notice that it got dark. Daniel turned the lamp up on his bed. He suddenly closed the book and sat up. "That's it," he said. "Finish." He stared down back at the cover. "I sure wish I had a magic backpack to help get me out of piano playing in school," he sighed. "But you don't next week, so you need to practice." Daniel read the book in the back of the book's cover. "There are 5 more magic backpack books," he said. "I hope I get the next one for Christmas." Just then, Grandpa Popwell came into his room. "It's awfully quiet," he said. "I thought maybe you'd fallen asleep." Then he chuckled. "I guess I maybe dozed off myself. So how about showing me what great piano player you are?" "I'm hungry," Daniel said. "Can we do it later?" "I'll tell you what," Grandpa said. "You play a song for me, and then we can eat." Daniel wrinkled. "Just one song?" Grandpa agreed. Then he started out the door, but Grandpa came back for my case. "But you don't want to miss this, do you, Humphrey?" he said. He was right. But I was prepared to dive under my bed in case Daniel played sound as terrible as he did at school. Back in the living room, Grandpa put my cage right on top of the piano, so I had a hamster's eye view of the keys. I was unspeakably thankful. Dale sat down on the piano bench, opened a piece of the music, and began to play. I was excited. I was ready to hear Jingle Bells, but instead he played another song. I know a song too. It's called Twinkle Twinkle Little Star. I'm sorry that Daniel wasn't playing Jingle Bells, but at least he had the right notes for Twinkle Twinkle. Grandpa clapped when Dale finished. Well done, he said. What was that song you played when you first started lessons? Dale nodded. What are your new songs? I think your mom said something about you playing Jingle Bells, Grandpa said. But you said you just had to play one song, Dale told me. You didn't say which one to play, and I'm so hungry. Play it one time through, we'll eat, Dale said. Grandpa said. Dale grumbled under his breath, but he found the music, set the piano right by my cage. It's pretty hard, he complained. Practice makes perfect, Grandma said. Try it. Daniel tried, I guess, and he hit some of the right notes, but he hit a lot of the wrong notes too. When Miss Lark played Jingle Bells, I could almost see the prancing horses and the sleigh grinding through the snow. But when Daniel played Jingle Bells, I could see horses tripping over snow and sleigh gets caught in the snowdrift. See, I told you I couldn't play it, Daniel said when he was finished. Sure you can play, Grandma. All you need is practice. Daniel pat his tummy, but I'm starving. Grandpa chuckled. Okay, let's eat. He and Daniel went to the kitchen, leaving me on the cage on the piano. Well, while good smells started coming out of the kitchen, I stared at the keys. I wasn't sure how they worked. There's a piece of paper popped above the keys, but the paper didn't have any words on it, only lines and dots. Somehow, those showed people which keys to push, and when a person puts the keys, sounds came out. When Miss Lark pushed the keys, the music sounded good, but when Daniel pushed the keys, the music sounded bad, at least when he played Jingle Bells. I thought of the way the song goes, Jingle Bell, Jingle Bell, Jingle all the way. Squeak, 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 squeak. That part didn't seem too difficult, but if you find the right key and hit it 3 times, and then 3 times again, what was the next part? Jingle all the way. So I imagined in my head, squeak, 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 squeak. That time you play the same notes as the first one, and then the 3 other notes, and then I ended with the notes when you started. Squeak, 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 squeak. That first note, that note was a little higher. The 2 notes were lower. They came back to the first note. If only I got a way to get on that keyboard, I thought. I could play the notes. There might be only one. Then I might be the only piano-playing hamster in the world. But I wouldn't want to get caught out of my cage. For one thing, there's also a possibility that Lulu will get out her den and come straight for me. Even if I survive Lulu, there's a possibility that Grandpa Papa will change the lock will change my lock that doesn't lock, and I'll be stuck in my cage forever. So I stayed in my cage and thought about some more, until I knew Jingle Bells so well it was almost a part of me. After dinner, Daniel and his grandpa came back to the living room. Let's give Lulu a break and take her out for a walk, Grandpa said. That was fine with me, as long as she didn't walk close to my cage. Now it's cold out. Well, bundle up, Grandpa said. Lulu needs the exercise. Come and think of it, so do we, after that chilly. So Daniel and Grandpa Papa were wearing coats and hats, gloves and scarves, and they went out to the den and came out with Lulu. Luckily, she was on a leash, and she was actually wearing a sweater, which seemed strange to me. She wanted to be, of course, but Daniel took her out of the side. Outside when Grandpa locked the front door. We'll see you later, Humphrey, he said as he left. Bye, I screamed. Don't hurry back. I was no Lulu, no humans, just me and the piano. Humphrey's winter wonders. I wonder why a dog needs a sweater when she already has a fur coat. Alright, I think that's where we should stop for today. So, I hope you guys enjoyed this part of Winter According to Humphrey. I sure did. I hope Daniel keeps practicing, though, because Humphrey was a little rude about it. He was saying all stuff about how good Miss Lark was, even though Miss Lark isn't really a good human. But if you guys enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel about playtime, because we have fun playtime here. And we'll see you next time. Humphrey says goodbye too, so does Og. It says Random Snowman.